quite some calls relating to an article that appeared in the newspaper which represented a letter from the CFT which caused quite some alarm. The alarm is unfounded, and I'd like to share that with the public at large. And it's really old news. Old news in the sense of the system, the way it works is the CFT sends out its letter, but its letter does not show up on its website until weeks after the letter has been distributed. And only when it has showed up on the website, I believe the press picks it up and brings that news, but it has nothing to do with any recent activities or events. We have been lobbying for budget support from the Netherlands, and we've had many discussions with the CFT, and it was agreed upon that the CFT will support us in such a request, and the letter which was sent out was part of that support effort. And indeed, in terms of not disposable income, but I would say available funds that government have, as of yesterday, the available funds for expenditures amounted to 26 million guilders in the bank. I want to make a distinction so everybody understands as to what available funds are, because that's not the only funds that the government have. The government have also other funds. Funds that are committed but are being held in reserves just in case there is a delay of some kind in getting the budgetary assistance, that we could fall back on those funds. Funds such as payments that we've got to make to APS to the tune of 20 million guilders. That's in the bank. We also have funds for capital expenditures. We had a choice to rush and spend the capital expenditures because they're all approved. Nothing's holding us back from executing the capital expenditures projects for which we have 21 million guilders additional in the bank. Loans that we had completed in August, and for which bonds have been issued, and that 21 million guilders is in the bank. Again, we could have go out and spend it, but we have not. Given the situation that occurred with Irma, we want to be cautious, and we're going to make sure that we have sufficient funds just in case government runs out of money, that we could also fall back on those funds to keep government running. So there is no panic at this point in time that's justified. Eventually, we will reach that point, of course. But I should also share with you that besides the funds that I just mentioned to you that we have in the bank, in cash, we also have wealth. And wealth is also funds that you can activate in order to acquire money to take care of expenses that government will have to make if it comes to that. Again, it's all in the realm of being cautious and being able to share with you that really there's no reason for panic. When I say we have wealth, we own several different companies. And we own all the shares, 100% of the shares in those companies. If it comes to a crisis point, we could attract partners sell part of the shares if necessary to attract funds to keep us going. It's not the ideal way that we should go. It's not something that I'm advocating or propagating, but I'm only sharing that the end of the road is not only 26 million and the other funds, but we also have wealth that we could throw into the field if it's necessary. Now, from all promises, from all indications, from all discussions we've had so far, all of that is not going to be proved, not going to be necessary, because the Netherlands have already expressed their preparedness to provide us with budget assistance. And that budget assistance, they've even mentioned an amount that's not, they've said, cast in stone, but about more or less the amount that they had in mind to give us for budgetary stone for 2017, which is 42 million euro. To show you how fluent that is, and I really want to appreciate my gratitude on behalf of the people of St. Martin towards the Netherlands for this, because recently, if you follow the discussions as far as the 550 million euro aid that they have promised to St. Martin, that 550 million aid is going to be administered by the World Bank. That's a choice that the Netherlands have made to make sure that the programs that's coming out of this 550 million euro, that it's done properly, administrated properly, and accounted for properly. In order to get that executed, however, you got to have discussions, you have to have agreements, you got to have a structure that all parties agree to in order to have the programs, the administration, and the projects that you want to execute handled properly. We're at the beginning stage of those discussions. In fact, Friday, all of the SGs and the top government officials of Netherlands that are involved in the rebuilding program for St. Martin are getting together.
Hey guys, did you know that now with Telcel, if you accumulate $25 or more within one calendar month, you get 15 more?
15 more?
Yes, 15 more. However you want.
So I can top up $3 now, $10 next week, and so on until I reach or pass $25?
That's right. Get 15 more.
Wow! I feel like a 15 again.
Yeah. Right. Accumulate $25 or more within one calendar month and get 15 more. Telcel, when you want more.
GEBE has been faithfully serving the communities of St. Martin, powering your home and our economy. Come rain or shine, our qualified team of professionals are working hard 24 hours a day to provide you and your family with safe, reliable electricity and water. We use the latest technologies and test our products daily to maintain the highest international standards. Our friendly staff is always there to assist you, whether in person, over the phone, or online. We are committed to constantly improving our products and services, making them more efficient, effective, and environmentally friendly to serve you better today and our next generation of clients tomorrow. GEBE, powering a brighter future.
Our friend Megawati is here with tips to save you energy. 1. Turn your airco temperature up. 2. Use a ceiling fan instead. 3. Buy energy-saving products. Save some green with NV.
But prior with starting to the questions, I would like to just clarify the matter from last Tuesday after we adjourned the meeting for us to be able to prepare ourselves with the answers for this morning. outside in the corridor, one of the MPs asked the question that was also posed here in the meeting that we should be able to answer to you this morning, Madam Chair. And that question was, is the University of St. Martin open or closed? At that moment, I let the MP know the meeting has been adjourned, and the answer to that question will be given when the meeting is resumed. In no way do we look at having our board members put in a spot and think that they are mum to answer to any questions posed by the honorable members of parliament. We could have also, if that was the case, call MP George Pontiflet outside, MP Tamara Leonard, MP Kearlings, and all the MPs who pose questions and say, here we have your answers outside. So I just want to make that clear, Madam Chair, because this is the house where we respect, and if questions were posed to us as a board, we want to know we come back here to the house and answer those questions. Thank you, and now I will give the word to Marcy, who will be the first to answer to questions posed.
Ms. Henry, you have the floor.
Good morning, Chairperson of the Parliament. Good morning, MPs. I will start with the first set of questions, which were posed by MP Leonard. The questions were as follows. To Ms. Henry, relative to the ministry conflict of interest / resignation, was this written or verbal? Was it from the minister? Was the conflict of interest explained? The response is as follows. This was done verbally. Yes, the Minister of Education, Culture, Youth and Sport did ask for me to resign, and no, the conflict of interest was not explained. Now I will pass it on to our next board member to answer the questions of MP Herlitz.
Thank you very much, Ms. Henry.
You may continue.
Good morning, Madam Chair Lady. Good morning to the honorable members of Parliament and to all who are listening. The second MP to pose questions was MP Kearlings. His first comment was about the newspaper article on the rescue budget. And he asked, was all of this discussed before? And if USM was consulted. Now, in the meeting that we had with the Ministry of Education on the 29th of November, an MOU was presented. There was no prior discussion on the content, and the ministry sought, in principle, an agreement at the end of the meeting. However, the board advised the ministry that it wouldn't be possible because other board members who were absent had no knowledge of this MOU, seeing that it was just presented in that meeting. And so the board asked if some time could be given in the weekend for the MOU to be discussed with the other members of the board. The ministry had given 1 day, actually wanted to get an answer by the 30th of November. However, in the evening, 6:50 of the 30th of November, the board informed that the ministry that the MOU would be discussed later on, and that as soon as possible comments would be sent. And these were sent Monday morning, the 4th of December. Another question posed by MP Kearlings was, when is the first tranche? And is there any indication when the first amount will be deposited? In the November 29th meeting, it was clearly requested by the ministry that details of the discussion be kept confidential due to information that apparently the ministry thought had been leaked on social media before. And so the university board in that meeting agreed to keep the information confidential. Seeing that we're answering your question as you posed then, we still feel that we need to adhere to that agreement. And so we were not and are not at liberty to discuss the contents of the MOU. We hope that the Minister of Education by now has submitted the MOU to the members of Parliament. What are the criteria for getting the funds? Again, seeing that this question was posed at that time, we're saying that the criteria that were included would be found in the MOU, and as we had agreed, we would not be discussing the MOU with the minister. We agreed with the minister that we would not be discussing the MOU in public. What happens after the semester and rescue budget finished? Unless there is an agreed upon increase for subsidy, then USM would be back to the same position financially, and the situation would be the said same. And so if there is no structural funding.
People all across St. Martin are switching to a more rewarding experience. The WIB MasterCard Fun Miles credit card, better known as My Card. Earn 1 Fun Mile for every $2 spent, even abroad and online. This will quickly get you a ton of Fun Miles to redeem for travel, shopping, food, fuel, and much more. But there's more to My Card. Worldwide acceptance, an EMV chip for extra security, and 250 free Fun Miles with first use. Switch to My Card today at WIB.
Fun miles from within your reach.
Hey guys, did you know that now with Telcel, if you accumulate $25 or more within 1 calendar month, you get 15 more?
15 more?
Yes, 15 more. However you want.
So I can top up $3 now, $10 next week, and so on until I reach or pass $25?
That's right. Get 15 more.
Wow! I feel like a 15 again.
Yeah. Right. Accumulate $25 or more within 1 calendar month and get 15 more. Telcel, when you want more.
It's been said that behind every door, possibility awaits. How much possibility depends on which door you open first. Every day, we help our customers discover the possibilities in their lives. It all starts with a conversation. Scotiabank. Discover what's possible.
Madam Chair, I would like to again thank the board for information given here today. I would like to also thank the board for the work that they have done, because whatever they have done for St. Martin, I would like to say, grateful to that. Also to Mr. Guadalupe. I would like to thank in particular also the private sector for the assistance given to the USM. I believe the board must take a serious note of the request of the students. And they had two main requests. One was an apology, and I showed that is not what we heard here today, and the revamping of the board. Madam Chair, it is interesting to hear the response to the question of this member of parliament whether or not the university is closed. And when you listen keenly to the information given, you can hear that USM is open under the UVI program, but it is not clear whether or not the university other than the UVI program is open or not. It is not clear what information this board of the USM wants the public to understand. When this member of parliament, Rudolph Samuel, Dr. Anders Rudolph Samuel, asked the board outside of this hall if USM was open or not, they were all mum. And it was interesting to hear the response from Ms. Gittison Ponteflet this morning about the way it was answered, but I think more interestingly was the answer given by Mr. Wickley Smith on the morning program with the Roberts on Sunday, when he was also asked the same question. So sometimes you can't answer a member of parliament, but you can well answer someone else. And that is also interesting to know. The board came to parliament and had 3 points of request. And the main point was a rescue budget was the first point. The board said if we can get the rescue budget, we can work on the structural budget, and we can also work on the law for higher education. And it is very interesting to hear this morning that the board is saying, even though we now get a rescue budget, we are saying no to the rescue budget. The board is indicating they are going back on a previous decision. So you came to parliament, you request parliament to take your plight into consideration, and when you get to the decision point, you say, oh no, we are going back to our previous decision. So what parliament supposed to do then? What are you requesting from parliament then? After we have sat with you back and forth, ask questions, you give response, that does not mean that parliament sat down and did anything. Parliament too had to work with government in order to get you what you requested, a rescue budget. And all of us know USM needs financing, and I understand that throwing money at the problem is not going to solve all of it. It needs more than that. Maybe it really needs what the students are saying, that the board need revamping. Madam Chair, again, I would like to say thank you to the board, and I did hear the sentence that you will get the money if you sign the MOU, and if you don't sign the MOU, you won't get the money. It means that the problem is no longer government, and the problem is no longer the private sector, or the money problem is no longer parliament. It has to do with the board accepting the MOU or not. But however we put it or twist it, it's very interesting. I would like to say thank you for the information provided, and thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, MP Dr. Anders Rudolph Samuel. MP Tamara Leonard, you have the floor.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, I think I've gotten to a point now where I feel like I have a answer. However, between the board of USM and the Minister of Education, I find on one hand, it's a secret called confidential, but then in the next hand, it's being exposed, whether through social media and newspaper, and kind of speaking in parables. So where we get an answer, yes, the answer still ain't no answer. My main concern now is what are the conditions of this MOU? What were the requirements? What was supposed to be met on both USM side or even the government side? What was requested of USM? What did the government decided to take out? Those are the details we are going to need to see exactly why we are literally approaching a deadlock. Why is it confidential? This is the problem. This is where we can solve everything if we could find that out. Because if the MOU is ready to be signed and the first disbursement can happen today, that means we still have a little time for students to register to make a spring semester. What is the hold up? That's what I want to know. Can I please see this confidential MOU that should not be confidential? What's the big secret? If we have time, if we get a step on this, we will get students to be able to register for the spring semester, which are the importance here. And let me make it clear, I do not expect, and nobody can put something in front of me to just sign and say sign that, and I'm going to go ahead and sign it, not realizing or putting any attention into what the consequences of my signature will carry. So I'm not here saying, USM, why did you not sign? I'm saying, why did you not sign it when it was in front of you? I am saying, why you ain't sign it? Why? What are those details that you did not want to commit to? What was the far-reaching consequences that can probably put USM in yet a bad position? Or what was the far-reaching consequences that could have the minister being held liable to as well? What is the problem? Can we please have the details of that MOU? It will come out in the paper just now. I mean, either BB Shaw gonna get it, or I just got it. Can we just please have the details so that we could finally move forward? Thank you, Madam Chair.